Yeah, an introduction.
Introduction?
Yeah, that would be nice.
All right. That's not the right kind of introduction. We have to be serious. We're backstage at the Deutschland Halle speaking with guitarist Jimi Hendrix. And Jimmy, I'd like to know, first of all, what you thought about your appearance in the film Woodstock, especially the scene at the end with the national anthem.
I guess they could have showed some of the songs, probably, you know. And like they like came in on the show at the end of it, and I wish they could have cut more of the musical side of it, really, you know.
You think they tried to make a political issue out of it?
Well, I really don't know. I don't know. Not really. I don't think so. It's just the way it is, yeah.
What about festivals like Woodstock? Do you think there'll ever be another gathering of people that large that'll have the same kind of vibes?
Well, no, because like it's pretty hard for the sound to get to all those people. You know, it's such a big crowd. Like if they had the smaller crowds, that, you know, you can really get next to them more. You know, but it's just too big. You know.
How do you feel about playing before, say, 400,000 people?
Well, that's what I mean. It's just too big. You know, you know you're not getting through to all of them. And the idea to play to them is to try to turn them on or something.
Do you think that large music festivals are actually just an extension of the commercialism angle? Is it too commercial?
Well, I don't know. I really, I don't think that I really play too many more of those, anyway, so it's really not too much to talk about, really. It's just too much. It's just too many things going on, and not enough, love or concentration on one certain thing.
Prophetic words, perhaps, because the last gig that Jimi Hendrix played was the night after he did this concert in Berlin on the Isle of Fehmarn. It was another one of the large festival gatherings. It would be very hard to characterize Jimi Hendrix in words. You had to meet him, you had to talk to him, you just had to watch him. The night that he played the concert here in Berlin, he seemed very tired. I wouldn't say that he was strung out, but he just seemed tired and sort of uninterested. Let's go on with the interview. This is Chris Romberg of BFBS.
And Jimmy, you just come from the Isle of Wight, which is another of these large festivals. Did you enjoy that?
Well, I enjoy playing anywhere. But like it was dark, we was playing at nighttime. I couldn't see everybody. If I could see the people instead of just lines of bonfires up there, that's the only way I could tell there was a hill back up there. But like, sorry.
Do you prefer playing at a concert like this one where the accent is more coming to listening to music than gathering in a folk festival?
Yeah. I guess so. Yeah.
You think you're more appreciated here?
I don't know. It's pretty hard to say. Sometimes it's easier playing at different places, at different times. Germany in the summertime is beautiful.
Do you enjoy playing in Germany?
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you think German audiences differ from English audiences?
I don't know. It's pretty hard to say. We haven't played in England in a long time, We have to go out there and play again and see. But it's pretty hard to say.
Is there really anyone in pop music or, say, rock music that when you hear their stuff, you go, wow, they really knocked me out?
Yeah. Sly.
Sly Stone?
Yeah, because I like his beat, I like his pulse. Music lover and dance to the music, all those type of things, And Richie Havens, which is out of sight.
In remembering past performances I've seen by Jimi Hendrix, I had seen him in concert 3 times. This time was the first in about a year and a half, and he had changed his style quite a bit. I think it probably had something to do with the Band of Gypsys album earlier this year, but he was much more melodic than he was in the past. In the past he was fire and brimstone and that type thing, and now his style had changed slightly. He had become more tuneful, more into being a creative guitarist. In other words, he was creative before, but now he was becoming creative in a different vein. Later on in this interview, you'll hear a question about the Monterey Pop Festival. That was the first time that I had been exposed to Jimi Hendrix, and that was probably his big national breakout, both in the States and around the world. At that time, his act consisted of wild, just, dancing around the stage, playing his guitar behind his neck, and all the things that you've heard about Jimi Hendrix in his early days. At the end of the performance, He set his axe on fire, and then he set his hair on fire, and it was really something. The people were just really into Jimi Hendrix. The night at the Deutschlandhalle, he was much more subdued, much quieter, and as we said, much more into the melody. His drummer Mitch Mitchell had slowed down quite a bit too, but Bill Cox provided a much funkier bass line than Noel Redding was ever capable of. As Jimmy says later on in the interview, Noel was more into playing melodies than he was into being a funky bass player. So let's go on with this unedited interview, again conducted the night of September 4th at the Super Concert in Berlin.
I was wondering about the experience that's appearing here in Berlin tonight. This is really, there's only one man difference from the original Jimi Hendrix experience, and that being your new bass player, Bill Cox. I was wondering how...
we have a new road manager, too, don't forget. Gene McFadden, besides Jerry Stickles and Eric Barrett.
Well, we can't forget the plug.
Well, you can't forget, because like those are the ones that keep it together, really. Everybody forgets about that side of it, really.
That's true. That's something I'd like to find out. Behind-the-scenes people normally do a lot more than you.
It's like a beautiful airplane, and everybody almost forgets about the pilot sometimes, you know. And, you know, whatever kind of way you want to look at it.
I was wondering about the group itself, however, and the reason that the original experience broke up with Noel Redding and Mitch Mitchell, and now that you're back together with your old drummer Mitch, how Bill Cox came to you.
Yeah, well, you know, him and I, we used to play together before. And, like, we're doing a lot of bass and guitar unison things, you know, which makes, it's nothing but, like, a lot of rhythms, or what do you call it? It's like patterns, like, you know. And, like, I don't know, see, Noel, he has his own thing, you know, he gets his own, you know, group, he has his own group, and he's into his own thing, you know, he's more of an individual himself, I guess, or like that. And like I wanted the bottom to be this a little solid, you know, Noel's more of a melodic player, you know, and Billy plays more of a solidest bass. You know?
Do you think that the Monterey Festival back in '67 was the original starting point for what we could say is now the fame of Jimi Hendrix?
Oh, for a group, yeah, right.
And as far as that Monterey Festival goes, I was there, and I thought there were a lot of fantastic performances there. Will there ever be anything in pop music like Monterey again?
Oh, I'm not sure. I really don't know about pop music, you know. No telling, you know. It'd be nice if it was. That's next wave around, though, you know.
Yeah.
Next time around. This is it. Oh, well, that's too much.
How do you feel when you're on tour? How do you feel at the moment?
Right.
Yes.
I'm just worried a little bit now because, like, I sound a tiny bit like a frog. You know, because of last night we was playing so loud. I was just shouting on my tiptoes. And I felt like my kneecaps were up in my chest. And right now I feel kind of nervous, but I think it'll be all right. Because now we're going to go on and do our real gig. Like, Mitch will be playing drums and Bill playing bass, and I'll be playing guitar. You know, instead of up there screaming. You know.
Do you get very worn out?
Yeah, there's certain things would charge me in an instant. And I get worn out in an instant, too. Other things.
Like interviews, maybe?
Well, sometimes they're fun, you know.
Yeah. Okay. Sometimes they're fun to do, too.
Yeah, I wish you would have caught that, you know, at a more unnervous time, because, like, right now we have to go on soon. Like,
really, we understand that.
At this point, I think some personal business should come up, perhaps, in this interview. I've never been on film, and I've never been on television before. I've done strictly radio and had a very short career at that. And as we said before, this interview was being filmed. Hendrix was nervous about being on film. I was rather nervous. In fact, everybody that was in front of the camera was. And after we had wrapped up what we thought was the end of the interview, there were some rather nervous goodnights exchanged. Good night.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Now, at this point, we thought that the interview was concluded and the film crew started to shut down their camera, but just at that point, the man from American Forces Television here in Berlin, Sergeant Keith Robin, decided he was going to ask Hendrix what he thought about Mongo Jerry and their interview in the summertime. I already had my tape machine shut off, but I turned it on in time to catch the rest of these comments and this reaction from Hendrix and the crew that was in the room.
Yeah.
Why does that name always spark laughter? Whenever anybody says Mungo Jerry, people bust up laughing.
I think that's a happy song.
It is. It's a great
It's
song.
not like this, but I think it's so good.
I would like to know what
He said, you that woman on your mind.
your opinion of the song and the group of what you know of them.
Well, I think it's a beautiful summertime type of song. And, you know,
Do you think there's any future in that group, with that group?
well, I don't know about the group, but I don't know about the group, but the, you know, the song is cute. You know, it's nice and happy, and it's nice and light. And, you know, he just lays it down. I didn't know it was a group. I thought they just got together to make that one record. But, you know, best of luck to anybody who, you know, wants to get it together. Mungo Jerry.
And that's the way it was the night of September 4th before going on at the Super Concert here in Berlin.